Deadlifts, one of the greatest compound exercises you can perform in the gym. It's also an exercise we highly recommend, but unfortunately, it's also a compound exercise which oftentimes people make mistakes on, lots of mistakes. So with that said, let's get started on the do nots of deadlifts. Mistake number one, dudes, is gonna be improper arm, shoulder, and hip movement. When you're doing the deadlift, and you're bringing it up to the top position, you'll see some people, as they bring it up and they finish it, they're gonna roll their shoulders and overextend their hips forward. Now there's a few reasons why you don't wanna do this. Number one is rolling your shoulders is gonna put unnecessary pressure on the spine, which could lead to injury. And on that same note, extending the hips forward, such as this, is gonna put pressure on the lumbar, which could lead to injury as well. Another thing you'll see people do is as they bring it up, they think they have to activate the arms in order to help with the lift. So you'll see them go like this. What you wanna do is you wanna keep those arms straight through the lift. So you just wanna start, and then you wanna bring it up such as this. You wanna push the hips through and squeeze the glutes, but you don't want to overextend the hips such as this. That's the mistake number one, dudes. Don't become a victim. Mistake number two, dudes. Not performing the deadlift correctly, or not even performing the deadlift at all. What you want to keep in mind with doing the deadlift is this right here is the starting position. This is the deadlift, which you're starting from. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab it and you're gonna pick it up and then you're gonna set it down. That's one rep. What you'll see some people do, and you don't want to make the same mistake, is for them, this is the starting position and they're not engaging that full range of motion. So they're going down and then they're going back up, down and up. What you're doing right here, dudes, is you're performing a Romanian deadlift, which is very different from a deadlift. What you want to remember with deadlifts is this is the starting position and this is also the ending position as well. You want to get that full range of motion and you want to do that complete rep. Mistake number three, hips too low. What you'll commonly see in the gym, which is a mistake, is when people get into deadlift position, they're getting into position just like they're about to perform a squat. Their hip is right in line with their knee, just like this. What you want to do is have the hip slightly higher than the knee. And an easy way to remember this, the difference between the two, a squat and a deadlift, is with a squat, think about it like you're sitting in a chair. Whereas with a deadlift, think about it like you're in bowing position. With that hip here, the knee slightly lower like this, you pick it up and you're good to go. What you don't want to do is have it in that squat position because you're putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on the leg and you're essentially doing a modified squat. A couple more reasons you don't want your hips too low when performing a deadlift, dudes. Number one, when you begin in that bowing position, which you should be, hips slightly higher than the knees, your hamstrings are gonna be tight and activated and ready to assist you with the lift. Whereas if you're low like this, you have to get into this range before they're activated, ready to help you out, and you're good to go. It's really just unnecessary right here. Another big reason is when you're lifting low, you have a much higher chance of banging your shins and knees on the way up. And if you've ever done that yourself, or you know someone who has, they're gonna tell you, you're gonna have a bad time. So lift from the bowing position. Mistake number four, rounding of the back. There's two reasons that could lead to this, dudes. Number one, it's gonna be that you're letting the weight pull you as opposed to you pulling the weight. So you got your shoulders forward and you pick it up, you're rounding the back just in order to get it up. That's number one. In order to prevent that, what you want to do is you want to contract those lats and shoulders back straight, chest up. Reason number two is the bar to feet placement. If you've got that bar too far in front of you, you're going to have unnecessary strain, which could lead to injury in order to pick that up, rounding of the back. What you want to do is have that bar right in the middle, the direct center of your feet. That's the optimal placement. So you're going in a parallel line and you're performing the deadlift as it should be performed. Mistake number 5, dudes. Excessive use of lifting gear and proper footwear. There's nothing wrong with lifting straps and a weight belt. In fact, if you really want to break a personal record, these can really help you so that you're actually using your strength to lift the weight as opposed to not having enough grip strength, which the straps can really help with. What you don't want to get into the habit of is just relying on the belt and the straps. If you can pick up a 45 plate on your own and do 10 reps, by all means do it. You don't need lifting straps or a belt in order to do that, or you don't need to have the under-over grip either. What you want to do is keep the overhand without the straps and the belt. What that does is that helps aid with lower back support. It helps with your grip strength. You don't want to use these at all times so you're not developing those muscles as well. Another thing you don't want to do is wear the improper shoes. With deadlift, you want as flat-soled as you can. You don't want anything with lifts, anything filled with gel or air, anything really lifting your heels up on the ground. You want to try to keep those feet as flat as possible. So mistake number 5, use the lifting gear when you really need to, but don't rely on it as a crutch. All right, dudes, hope you enjoyed the video. Now, as the title said, these are the 5 common mistakes for deadlifts. So some of you may have already known about them, but hey, it's always good for a reminder. Remember to please check out the video at the end, which is how to perform the deadlift and perform it properly, and hopefully now you know what mistakes to avoid. And knowing is half the battle.